Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
If you ask most professional athletes, they'll tell you that the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a baseball. Every once in a while, though, someone makes it look easy. A little too easy. But in the words of Lao Tzu, the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Here are 7 times the Yankees fought lightning in a bottle. Number 7, Kevin Maas. Kevin Maas was a 22nd round draft pick in the 1986 amateur draft. And after working his way through the minor leagues for a few years, he was called up on June 29, 1990. He was seen as a potential heir apparent to Yankees captain Don Mattingly, who at that time was having some back issues. For about a month, though, it looked like he could be. He became the fastest player ever to hit 10 home runs, just 72 at-bats, and also became the fastest rookie to reach both 13 and 15 home runs, hitting his 15th bomb in his 133rd at-bat. He posted a .902 OPS and led the league in great jaw lines. He finished the season with 21 home runs in 79 games and finished second in the AL Rookie of the Year voting to Sandy Alomar Jr. of the Cleveland Indians. Despite his impressive rookie campaign, he never put up an OPS plus above league average again and was out of Major League Baseball after the 1995 season.
Manager for the Yankees.
Number 6, Glen Hill. Glen Hill was the epitome of a Major League Baseball journeyman outfielder. Big-time power from the right side of the plate, and somebody that fans loved because of his bat drop and because of the immense distances that he would generate on his home runs. In 2000, during the final summer of the Yankees three-peat, Glen Hill was traded to the Yankees from the Chicago Cubs, where he was having an okay season, 797 OPS and 11 home runs in 64 games. But when he got to the Yankees, he turned into a monster. 40 games, 132 at-bats, 16 home runs, and 29 runs batted in to go along with a ridiculous 1.112 OPS. And that wasn't even the only time that Brian Cashman acquired lightning in a bottle that summer. David Justice, number 5. David Justice was no journeyman. He had an accomplished career with both the Braves and the Indians, but he was definitely on the proverbial back 9 of his career when the Yankees traded for him. He had hit just 21 home runs in each of the previous 2 seasons. However, David Justice was having a nice bounce-back season in 2000. He had already matched his home run total from the previous 2 years, 21 home runs through the first 68 games. Then on June 29th, David Justice was dealt to the Yankees in exchange for Jake Westbrook, Ricky Leday, and Zach Day. In 78 games that season with the Yankees, Justice went off. He hit .306 with 20 more home runs and 60 RBIs, a .391 on-base percentage, and a .977 OPS. It has to be considered one of the best mid-season trades of all time, and even better because he came up huge in the postseason. Justice would go on to win ALCS MVP versus the Seattle Mariners en route to a World Series championship to complete the three-peat.
The luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Number 4, Alfonso Soriano. Now, Alfonso Soriano had 2 electric stints in pinstripes. He came up with the Yankees, and his first major league hit was a home run to win the game. He also nearly won the World Series in 2001 with a late home run off of Curt Schilling. In 2002, he nearly went 40-40. He blasted 39 home runs and swiped 41 bags. And in 2003, he had another really solid season with 38 home runs and an .863 OPS before being traded for Alex Rodriguez. After nearly a decade with the Rangers, Nationals, and Cubs, Soriano was traded back to the Yankees in 2013, and once again he was electric.
Back is shot, looking up, see ya!
In 58 games, he had 17 home runs and 50 RBI, including a stretch in which he had 13 hits, 5 home runs, and 18 runs batted in just 4 games from August 13th through 16th.
The most famous baseball player of all time, Babe Ruth.
Number 3, rookie Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez was long considered one of the best prospects in baseball. He signed as an international free agent and worked his way up through the minor leagues, made a brief cup of coffee in 2015, and then in 2016 he went crazy. He burst onto the scene with a record-breaking and eye-popping summer. From August 3rd through October 2nd, Sanchez hit .305 with 20 home runs and 42 RBI. He looked great on defense. He had a .382 on-base percentage, and he had a 1.052 OPS. He finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting, despite only playing in 53 games. He ended up having a couple of big power seasons with the Yankees, set the Yankees record for home runs by a catcher in a single season, but his run with the team ended after the 2021 season. Number 2, Matt Carpenter. Entering the 2022 season, Matt Carpenter was hanging on by a thread to what appeared to be a pretty successful major league career. He was an all-star, he had finished 4th in the MVP voting, and he had a pretty solid playoff resume. But in 2020 and 2021, his swing was an absolute disaster, and he hit just .186 and .169 respectively with almost no power. But after the Yankees signed him in 2022, they were in need of a left-handed bat. He stepped right in and dominated. On August 8th, Carpenter fouled the ball off of his foot and broke it, ending his regular season. But his numbers were just ridiculous. 47 games, 128 at-bats, 15 home runs, 37 RBI, and a 1.138 OPS.
If you don't like it, you're fired.
You haven't hired me yet.
And last but not least, my favorite, Shane Spencer. After back-to-back 30 home run seasons at AAA Columbus, Shane Spencer got his first taste of Major League Baseball during the historic 1998 season. But after a couple of uneventful cups of coffee in April and June of that year, Spencer was called up for good on July 28th and finally got the opportunity to play. What followed was perhaps the most fun I've ever had watching baseball. When it was all said and done, Spencer had a regular season average of .373. He had 10 home runs. He had 27 ribbies. He had 3 grand slams and a 1.321 OPS. From out of nowhere. He carried his magic into the postseason as well, with a couple of big home runs in the American League Division Series, en route to a World Series and 125 wins. What a year.
And now Spencer drops this one on Helen, deep left center and gone! Unbelievable! And Spencer continues his Roy Hobbs or Shoeless Joe act.
Honorable mention, Aaron Small, the journeyman pitcher who in 2005, after coming to the Yankees, went 10-0 with a 3.20 ERA in 76 innings. Only reason this wasn't a top 8 list with Aaron Small is because there's practically no footage of him. Honorable mention, Shelley Duncan, who in 2007, as a 27-year-old rookie, hit 7 home runs in 34 games and 74 at-bats, and he just got named the Yankees AAA manager. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.